Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. We got another body cam for y'all today, man. We have man terrified after learning roommate's evil secret. What if you stay with a roommate that the police just come in? Freeze, motherfucker, get your...
Do what they say, because I don't know what's going on.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why I hate random roommates and people you really don't know. Mm-hmm. Now, you know what I'm saying? Family, that's a different thing. I used to hate getting stuck with random ass weird people. You just like, where the fuck y'all come from? You know?
Yeah.
I used to hate that crowd, bro. But hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want the first part. You gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
locking it with a thumbs up.
Let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Come on outside. Your hands rock to you.
What's going on here? Okay, so Ian, is Thomas Lopez staying up here?
This is the father and son who own this ranch house in the New Mexico desert, miles from anywhere.
Ooh.
Police believe a murderer is hiding inside their home. Thomas Lopez, a man who, days earlier, beat his girlfriend to death.
Nice. Do you know where he might be staying at or anything?
But what makes this interesting is that the son is in fact hiding this man, and the father is about to find out that his son is protecting a murderer inside the vents of his own home.
Oh, dang.
Thomas, talk to me, man. I know you're down there.
We don't come over here for simple stuff.
Yeah. So what's up?
She's dead.
You said what?
I wonder, did he know that, or he just like, man, me and my girl had a fight and the police looking for me, da. But he didn't know, like, to what degree. I'm wondering, or did you? You know what I'm saying? We gonna find out.
On the 24th of February, police were called to a hospital in New Mexico to investigate something horrifying. 26-year-old Sabrina Calderon had just been brought in, unconscious, covered in bruises, barely clinging on to life.
So her name is Sabrina Calderon. Is in such dehydration that her kidneys are failing. She is too sick for even us to take care of.
And who brought her in?
I believe they said they thought it was her dad.
What is that, would you say? Is that something from being hit?
Probably so. She's 26 years old. She should not be in this condition.
Right.
Sabrina is in such critical condition that the nurses are almost certain she won't survive. But what made the hospital so suspicious is that Sabrina's injuries were that of someone who had been viciously beaten, and the man who dropped her off left almost as quickly as he possibly could. The hospital called in police, but with no leads, the cops decided to use her emergency contact info and call up her dad to see if he could shed any light on what just happened.
Can you hear me now, Mr. Calderon?
Yes.
Could you tell me what happened real quick? Why she has these injuries?
Yes. Thomas Lopez, he got it from here. I guess at knife point. He took her over there, and
Where's over there?
It's a ranch house. He had her locked up in the room, and he was just beating her. She said he was beating her every day.
That was almost disturbingly simple. Apparently, a man had taken her at knife point from her dad's home and was beating her every day at a house out on a ranch somewhere in New Mexico.
Is that why she possibly dehydrated? Because she's not.
Because she's, yeah.
The cops find it extremely strange that he never contacted police, so there is some amount of suspicion to cast on him. Regardless, they ask him for some details about the guy that he claims did this to her, knowing that if this lead hits a dead end, they know who to suspect next.
Where does he live at?
He was just going from place to place.
How did you get her?
He ended up taking her to the hospital, and I thank God for that. And dropped off and took off.
Do you know what he looks like?
I sure don't. I sure don't.
Say his name one more time.
Thomas Lopez.
Thomas Lopez. Okay.
Police now have a name. Thomas Lopez. The victim's father claims that Lopez was the one who both attacked and dropped Sabrina off at the hospital, which would explain why he was in such a big rush to leave.
Where do you think he resides mostly? In Carlsbad or in Portales?
I mean, he's just staying wherever he could, I guess.
It seems like Thomas is going to be extremely difficult to track down. The cops don't have a description of him, he has a common name, and constantly jumps from place to place without a known address. If this guy had gone on the run, it could be weeks before they managed to find him. But that's when everything changed. Sabrina briefly woke up and found the strength to confirm that it was indeed Thomas that had done all this to her, and she managed to give police the address of the ranch her father mentioned. All before taking her final breath and dying moments later. Sabrina had just solved her own murder. Immediately, the cops head to the address heavily armed, knowing that they might come face to face with an aggressive killer. However, there is one problem. Police haven't had time to get a search warrant, meaning that they have no right to enter the home without permission. That means they're stuck outside, knowing that just feet away, a brutal murderer could be hiding.
Ian, is that you? Ian, come to the front door for me.
Hold on a second. Who is it?
It's the sheriff's office.
Let me see your hands. Come outside. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Is the dog okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Rice, I got contact.
I don't have nothing.
Okay, sit tight right here, man.
Okay, yes, sir.
Sorry.
This is Ian, part owner of this ranch and good friend of Thomas Lopez. Sabrina had told cops about him and said that he could be vital to tracking Thomas down. At this point, the cops have no idea how much Ian knows, but they do know that his house is supposedly where Sabrina was attacked. For all they know, he could have been involved as well, so they have to be extremely cautious when dealing with him and clearing out the house.
Who's all here, man?
My father, my friend, Bugsy.
What's Bugsy's real name?
I don't know.
Come on outside. Keep your hands where I can see him.
Hey, what's going on here?
Thomas Lopez staying out here? Or has he been out here?
Been out here a few times.
Yeah.
I'd see you. Yes, sir.
He already getting ready to lie.
The
He said,
Ian.
Yeah, he said, and the dad, yeah, he been out here for, yeah.
Look, I ain't about to be protecting nobody. I'm about to
'Cause
get myself caught up in
He
nothing.
already knew what was going down. He knew he had that girl out there. He ain't know what he probably, never mind, I don't even know that part. Accessory.
Or has he been out here?
Been out here a few times.
Yeah.
I'd see you. Is there anybody else inside? You said Bugsy. If I can go with you with the door, can you call her outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go get her?
Yeah, well, just call her from the door, please.
Bugsy is another one of Ian's friends that happened to be staying at the property around this time. She couldn't have anything to do with the crime, but cops are still pleased to hear that there might be another witness, and someone that could help them track their suspect down.
So what we're doing is we're asking everybody to come out of the house because we're fixing to do a search warrant on the house. And supposedly there was an incident a couple of nights ago where somebody got beat up out here. And so now we're securing the house to do a search warrant for evidence.
Okay.
See how Perry keeps looking over to Ian? It's almost like he knows something is wrong, because this isn't the first time that Ian's brought criminals over to this house, something police would later bring up. With that said, Perry obviously doesn't want to give his own son up to the police, so he decides to stay quiet.
We're good. We're out here with Ian Whalen and his dad, and so there's nobody else in the trailer, so both are just chilling out here right now. We'll work for Temple.
Notice how Ian doesn't say a word. That's because he, just hours earlier, helped Thomas crawl into the vents inside his house to hide him from the cops. However, his father has absolutely no idea.
Yeah, we're good. We're good for the next few minutes out here.
Warrant?
That'll work. Thank you.
Well, we don't have it right now. We're getting it. Like I said, we just came here.
Okay, well then we don't have to do anything you say.
We're securing the house.
You don't actually have a warrant.
No, I do not have a warrant.
Okay, Ian.
Hold on.
You gonna make the situation worse.
I'm exercising my right.
Ian, come here so we can talk.
Okay.
Would you?
When people move like that, it's already screaming guilt.
Dad, they don't have a warrant. Let's go in the house.
Mind if I walked inside with you, just so we can make sure there's nobody else inside?
Sure.
Okay, I will go with you. Like I said, I'm not looking for anything except for just make sure there's nobody inside.
They're still not 100% sure that the house is empty. Ian mentioned someone called Bugsy, but wasn't sure if they were still around or not. So the officer prepares to head inside and clear the scene with Ian.
Okay.
You mind if I flip on some lights?
Yeah, go for it, man. It'd make it easier for both of us. And you don't have anybody staying with you currently?
No.
I just want to make sure, not somebody waiting behind me,
Dog shit's back here, man. So like,
Okay. Do you mind if I walk, make sure there's nobody on the side?
Go ahead, man.
Okay.
What he say?
Dog shit in the house. And y'all got this big open ass ranch.
Right.
Y'all some nasty trifling motherfuckers. I hate when people do that.
Appreciate it, man.
House all funky and shit.
Absolutely, bro.
Okay. Thank you. Do you mind if I walk in here?
Go ahead.
Like I said, I'm not worried.
Go ahead, dude.
I'm not looking for anything. Just make sure nobody's in here. Sure. Yeah, it happens, man. Do you mind if I take a look inside?
Absolutely. Appreciate it. That too.
Okay. Thank you.
Across the fees filming.
Right on. Do you have just friends stay from time to time, or you have?
Yeah, once in a while,
Hey.
Alright, sorry, my bad. Hey, I'm right here.
Okay, come back here.
What?
You under the covers. Let me see your hands.
What's up? Hey,
There's somebody under the blanket
Huh?
Somebody feet sticking out. Look like
from time to time, or you have?
Yeah, once in a while,
it look like it, but I don't know.
Hey.
Alright, sorry, my bad. Hey, I'm right here.
Okay, come back here.
What?
You under the covers. Let me see your hands.
What's up? Hey,
There's somebody under the blanket there. You under the covers. Let me see your hands.
I suppose.
Let me see your hands.
It's not a guy. But you see it's not a guy.
Okay.
Right.
Mind coming with us, ma'am?
You're looking
What's she
for
hiding?
Okay. No,
She was
she's fine.
asleep.
You're looking for a dude.
We're not looking for her, but we do, ma'am, need to ask that you come outside with us.
Clearly, Bugsy isn't the person they're looking for, but she would turn out to be extremely useful to the case down the line. She's been staying at the house recently, so the cops keep her around thinking she might have seen something Ian didn't. The officer then clears the rest of the house and finds it to be totally empty. In the meantime, the officer outside catches Perry up on everything that's been going on at the house lately and what they plan to do in the search.
So you're referring to this Thomas girl, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. Thomas has gotten himself into some pretty heavy at this point, so.
Yeah, but what I've seen of it, I don't care for the dude.
Okay.
Keep this between me and you. I'm here trying to make shit right, and I apologize for my son, you know what?
Well, it happens. What's up? Okay.
Not a dude.
Okay. Obviously not the guy we're looking for, so.
He was about to tell everything.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
his dad, honey, he give his daddy issues. You bringing people in and out my house. You bring these criminals here.
Yeah.
Stuff I was going. Baby, you can't be here. You gonna have to find you somewhere to stay at this point.
I'll say this: his name probably is.
Yeah, I know. They said he's part. It makes it harder for you to just kick him out.
Yeah.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
So they're finding where they are right now, but what it's sounding like is the investigators are wanting to do the entire property covered in the search warrant. So
What does that mean?
well, meaning the car's gonna have to stay here.
Okay.
They're okay in there for now, but they are asking.
The entire property.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
want to go through the barns?
Yes, sir. That's what it's sounding
We
like.
could probably go do that right now. The
Well,
well house is locked up and the barn's unlocked.
okay.
But I could take y'all on a tour if you wanted to.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for them to get the paperwork done, just so that I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Thomas is hiding in the shop or something like that. But on the off chance that he is, I don't want him to have the ability to talk to a lawyer and say, well, they illegally searched the barn. Even if we have permission at this point, we're just going to kind of stand by and do it by the books for the paperwork, okay?
The thing is, Officer Rice was wrong thinking that Thomas wasn't hiding on the property. Had he gone looking for him on his own, things could have ended much, much worse for him. However, the day is coming to an end, and it's time for the officers to go over everything they've figured out so far. However, they can't risk Ian or Perry overhearing any of this. See if you can figure out why that might be, and we'll reveal it after this clip.
She's been living here? Probably. Did you ask her?
No, I haven't asked her expressly.
I would ask her. Because if she has been living here, she might have witnessed this. Sorry, I don't mean to be on edge, but you know.
Yeah,
No.
especially
Good question.
But, I guess the way to look at it, she died from that whole situation. Like those beatings.
I see. I'm guessing there was some internal injuries. Okay. So it wasn't like he tracked her down.
That's the way it seemed.
Okay.
The officers are clearly trying as hard as they can to conceal the exact details of the case from Ian and Perry. That's because detectives plan to interview them later, so the less information that gets put into their heads, the better. This is usually for two main reasons. If they're guilty of something, this stops them from changing their answers to hide evidence based on what they know. Or if they're just a witness, it stops them from giving answers based on what they heard from the cops rather than what they actually saw, protecting their credibility in court. It should be made clear that this isn't the first time that cops have been dispatched to Ian's house. And in fact, multiple criminals had been arrested here before, though never Ian himself. He just seems to hang around with the wrong people.
Let me tell Ian.
Okay.
Hey, listen, they're expanding the search to the whole property. We cannot take the car.
Okay. So the thing is with it, Ian, is you guys physically yourselves are not being detained. Okay. Any other than I guess today, any other issues going on?
No.
Nothing? Okay. That's good, I guess.
Fortunately, no.
Yeah. Got a nice place out here. You gotta be more selective about who comes out.
Right?
Yes, dude, honestly, when I lived down in the county, if I had friends over and they brought somebody I didn't know, I would straight up tell them back, guys, I'm cool with all y'all. So
Y'all
I don't know him,
Right.
and if I don't know him, he doesn't need to be here.
If you haven't noticed, the longer this goes on for, the more uncomfortable Ian seems to get. And as that continues, the cops start to get more suspicious too. After having multiple criminals caught and arrested on his property, you'd think he'd start to be more careful about who comes over. That's what made the cops suspicious here. If he's been hanging around so many criminals, he might feel obligated to cover up for them. That's the main thing on the officer's mind when he decides to bring Ian to the interview room, but they actually decide to wait before questioning him. They have a fairly large number of witnesses for the case, so they want to get as much information from the others first before talking to the riskiest of the group. Ideally, they'll get information that could help catch Ian in a lie and force him into telling the truth. So they start by questioning his father, Perry, the owner of the property.
Too many
She
people
like she
coming
got a
and
black
going.
eye.
I'm getting sick of it.
So you were in your room. They had been there a couple of days. You heard her getting slapped. You knew she was getting slapped by the way she was sounding. You peeked out. Ian was telling her, hey, y'all need to calm and quit, or whatever he said. The girl outside, this Elizabeth chick, and some other guy gave the girl that was being slapped after she said, y'all need to help me.
But that, apparently, this is two different. See, I thought the girl that we got beat up was not this girl. I don't know. I'll stay back in my room.
But you saw a woman getting beat.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was her. She was already in Carlsbad, right? Is it time for
She just barely got in Carlsbad, probably Friday.
It seems that Perry absolutely heard Thomas attacking at least one woman, but wasn't able to confirm who it was. He backs up Ian's propensity to let anyone and everyone over to the house and tells the cops that it was bound to end up badly eventually. If Perry can identify the girl that he saw Thomas hitting, though, it could be a massive help for the cops, as it would mean all the evidence lines up and they can begin their search for him immediately.
Suppose we just got you got the faces mixed up? Because you don't seem sure, but you knew it was women.
I thought there's two.
There is. Thomas did beat up another girl that he has warrants out for his arrest now too. That's why he's running.
Does he beat up every woman he comes in contact with? See, I thought we was talking about another woman. I knew of this chick, the picture you showed me. I knew of her going to the ER. But the chick that I heard through the wall saying, y'all gotta help me, was not her.
Perry is saying that he had heard Thomas beating a girl up, but that it was a completely different girl to the one that they were looking for. So now, there was even more reason to catch him as soon as possible, as it seems like this wasn't an isolated incident at all.
Maybe I'm confused. Because, okay, once she went to the ER, she never went back to the house, right? Okay. I'm thinking of another chick. Does that make sense?
No. But we'll figure it out.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
This whole thing is just confusing for me. I need to be more involved, I know, with who comes and goes, but, you know, he thinks he's a grown-ass man now. Ian's gonna have to start putting his foot down about who stays at the house. Plain and simple. Well, we need to get this fucker, man.
Perry unfortunately didn't have much else to add, so now they turn their attention to Bugsy, their surprise witness who might just have the answers they're looking for.
Okay, because you might have seen or heard something that happened out there at Ian's house a couple days ago.
Black? Honestly, her face bruised and her eye black. Like
I heard something that happened.
Because she want to take that hood off.
Happened out there at Ian's house a couple days ago.
Honestly, I just got there today to do some laundry, so I have...
Well, Ian says you were out there a couple of days ago whenever this incident happened. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know Thomas? The guy that's always out there with Ian and all them guys?
I mean, I've seen him a few times out there, yeah. I mean, even if I was there, I didn't see none of that.
Did you hear any of it?
I didn't.
At first glance, it seems like Bugsy might not be as much help as they anticipated. But things can change quite quickly when a witness is told just how serious the situation is. That's why the officer decides to let her in on what happened to Sabrina and see if that jogs her memory at all.
Right.
The reason we're here is because there's a girl that was with Thomas. Today, she started having complications from what Thomas and Sabrina had an altercation over.
Okay.
She is now deceased.
Unfortunately for the cops, this didn't change the fact that Bugsy hadn't seen anything at the house. However, she was able to give them one piece of information that could end up proving infinitely more useful than what they were hoping for initially. She gave them the address of another house Thomas was known to stay at. Inside that house is actually another one of Thomas's victims, and the police are about to discover that he's actually a serial domestic abuser. This is crucial to build a strong case against Thomas.
That's why the daddy's so confused, because he was like, he
just
had another girl over there.
So not only that, are you a serial cheater? And then you
got all these different women that you are
trying to
controlling and abusive towards.
Wow. Now that's crazy, bro. You know?
Very much so.
Good, and yourself?
Pretty good. All right.
Yeah, we're looking for Thomas.
He's not here. My friend Monique, that's her boyfriend.
Okay.
She asked me to stay here because she's...
Is Monique not here either?
No, she went to Clovis.
Okay.
And I'm just watching.
Do you know where Thomas is?
He's not supposed to be
here. We just
here.
really need to talk to him.
He's not supposed to be here. We changed the locks for her. She's really scared of him. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, we changed the locks for her.
Okay.
She doesn't have a phone here.
Was she battered a while back?
Yes.
Is that what that... Do you mind if we just make sure he's not in the house?
That's fine.
You know.
What's that? I'm her friend.
But nobody else is in this house?
Yeah. The only thing is that she called me, said she was scared of me. My boyfriend changed out the locks for her. He took her phone.
Oh, he took her phone?
Yeah.
When you're saying her, who are you talking about?
Money. She hasn't been here all day. I came to stay here for her.
But she still lives here?
Yes.
She fled, so just in case he comes back to this house, she won't be there because she's that afraid of him. So she got somebody else with her boyfriend staying there. In case he pops up, they can be able to call the police. And she don't have her phone.
Bless her heart.
So she probably know her number by heart and use somebody else's phone. But, you know.
She hasn't had contact with him that you would know of. She pretty much wanted nothing to do with him. How long ago was their incident that happened?
That was yesterday. Yeah. But she called me and told me to come change out her locks because she's scared of me.
It turns out this is the home of the other girl that Thomas had reportedly been beating, which, if anything, is worrying the cops even more. Since we know he's not limiting his violence to one girl, it would make sense if he's hiding out here waiting for this girl to come back home. The homeowner, however, is telling the cops that he's not here and she's not seen him for days.
Is she working or where is she at?
She just got a rehab. And so she went to Clovis with her daughter.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's what it means.
It was about 7:30 yesterday.
Does he have any friends over here that we know of? That he hangs out with? Family?
Of him because she's my friend.
Uh-huh.
But I know she don't have nobody terrorizes her.
Do you think he still has her phone?
Oh, he does.
Get that number.
He does have her phone.
The officers continued to search every room in the house as well as the attic, but weren't able to find him anywhere. According to everyone they talked to, Thomas had gone off the grid and was nowhere to be seen. But there was still one person they hadn't talked to. The one person that they knew was acting strange from the very beginning. Ian Whalen. If anyone was going to know where he was, it was going to be Ian. So later that night, they brought him into the interrogation room for hopefully the last interview that they'd need in this case.
Their cameras are down, so I'm using this thing, okay?
Okay.
I'll explain to you why we're here talking. You're not in any kind of trouble, okay? You're not in any trouble. You have any idea why you might be down here?
Well, yes.
About what?
Because of the fight or whatever, I guess, that Thomas had. Right?
You know anything else about it?
No.
Remember, Ian hasn't been told any details of what actually happened yet. He doesn't know that Thomas killed Sabrina, or even that there was a physical exchange. But that's all about to change in just a few moments.
Tom, let's talk about Thomas Lopez. When's the last time you seen him?
It's been about like a day or so.
A day or so? What about his girlfriend Sabrina?
About a day or so.
Okay. What happened between Sabrina and Thomas?
I just like heard an altercation. I didn't like see anything. I just heard them screaming at each other enough to where it alarmed me.
Were they inside your house when they did that?
Yeah.
When they were screaming?
Mm.
Okay. Was there anything physical going on, or just screaming? Did you see anything physical? Did you hear anything physical? Did you hear her yelling stop or him stop or anything?
Mm.
No? So whenever you heard screaming and stuff, where were they at?
Like, I guess it would be like down towards the kitchen area. I don't know, I heard them yelling and whatnot, and I went out there and I was like, hey man, are y'all okay? And they're just like, yeah man, fine, you know.
And what did she say?
Nothing.
It's clear Ian was around when the fight happened, but it seems like he didn't realize how bad things had actually gotten. Apparently Sabrina was actually crying when he went to talk to them, but he just figured it wasn't his business and went back to sleep in his room.
Do you know what the fight was about?
I don't, and honestly, I've got so much stuff of my own crap, like...
Okay, when's the last time you heard from Sabrina?
I don't know Sabrina. Like, I'm not making this up. Like,
But she was, that's Thomas's girlfriend or whoever.
I don't even know that. Like, I just know that there was an altercation between. I don't even know if this Sabrina is, if this is who, like...
Messed up teeth?
I'm assuming that's who it was.
So that day that whenever we went out there, was it the same chick?
As the officer mentioned earlier, Ian has a habit of letting people that he barely knows stay at his house. But it turns out this is a recipe for disaster. Since people know he likely won't get involved in their business, they see this property as an area out in the middle of nowhere where they can do whatever they want with no eyes on them at all. Initially, this only resulted in smaller crimes, robbery or drug possession. But this time, it turned into something much more serious, and Ian is now about to find out exactly what happened.
Do you know why I'm here?
No.
Remember I told you last time we don't come over here for simple stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember you told me that. So what's up?
She's dead.
Right.
You're kidding me. What happened? Do you know?
Well, from what she told us before she died was that she was getting her ass beat by Thomas over at your house in the barn with the golf club.
Died?
And so whenever you heard him arguing, when he just said he was getting pretty rough with her, what did you see him do?
Like just slapping her.
Slapping her? Well, I'm just trying to figure out what happened. And first of all,
I'm telling you,
if he was in your house, you didn't even know, so we can get him.
From the very beginning, cops figured he knew a little more than he was letting on. Now he knows exactly what happened, how serious it was, and what the consequences will be if he doesn't give up everything he knows. Not only will he be implicated in the crime, but if Thomas is on the property and he ends up harming an officer, that will be his fault. The question is that enough for him to turn in his friend?
When's the last time you seen Thomas leaving?
Okay.
Is he at your house?
I don't know.
Where does he hide in your house whenever the cops are trying to get him? Where would he go hide inside there? We're over there. Okay, the house is secure. We're going to search warrant for it. Where would he be hiding? If he's in your house, where would he be at? You don't want that problem at your house.
No. Like, I didn't know.
Have you seen Thomas?
Dead.
Have you seen Thomas today?
Tell the truth.
Just tell.
Tell me the truth, man.
Yeah, I mean,
where was he at when you seen him?
In the
in
van.
the house.
Okay. Was he there when the cops got there just a while ago?
Yeah.
Ian.
Can we take the... Oh, give us a... Can we take that?
This is Ian's ultimatum. Ian had been put in a scary position. He knew what the right thing to do was, but he was also terrified of this footage getting out. Amongst the people he hung around, he didn't want to be seen as someone untrustworthy, so he asked for the camera to be turned off and told the detectives the truth. Ian admitted that Thomas was at his house. In fact, he was hiding in the vents. Apparently, that's where he was the whole time. Now the cops knew exactly where he was, but getting to him would be no easy task. To arrest him, they'd have to try everything they could to make contact with him, or else get into the cramped vents with a known killer.
Right. I mean, he knows we're here. Yeah, I assume he knows we're going to come back. I guess. I don't know.
In the interview, they said he might be in the vent.
Yeah, that's what they're claiming. That's what Ian is claiming, is that he might be.
So if he's in a vent, the only one large enough for an adult that I know of is when you go in, there's a hallway that goes all the way back. There'll also be a blanket for the hallway right now.
As we go in, still clear all the little areas.
Boy, when I tell you, hey, from my experience, searching the house, most definitely search the vents.
Yeah.
Or underneath the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I know. I thought about my own situation, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What situation?
That's where my cousin used to hide at.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the one up here. He done changed his life around now.
That's where he used to hide?
Yeah, like under the house. Yeah.
Did they ever find him?
Yeah, they used to find him. The first few times, no. But then they started, yeah.
Boy, they searched. His big ass was underneath the house. One come out, smoked his ass out. I said, bro, what the... You so big and... Bro, especially domestic violence shit. Y'all be so big and bold to want to beat on women.
Mm-hmm.
And in this situation, you so big and bold where you beat a woman to death after just beating another woman. To the point where she having to run to protect her life.
To protect her life. That is sad.
And then you want to be a coward and hide under the bench.
And hide.
No, bitch, bring your bitch ass out. That's what you is.
Facts.
Is that we go past? I don't want to get fixated and have him come out behind us.
Yeah, if you hit that vent, the only downside is you'll have 2 rooms to clear in the hallway before the vent. So the last door is literally next to the vent.
We'll figure it out if anybody sees something weird.
Several cops made it to the scene a few minutes earlier and have managed to locate the vent they think he's hiding inside of.
Thomas, this is the Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office. Come outside.
He's not answering.
You try. He might answer me. Let him know if he doesn't respond.
I got
he doesn't come out.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Look around.
Thomas, Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Bachman. Come on out, man, with your hands up. Know you're down there.
So is that the vent he went in, or this? It's this huge over. I saw it. It goes down. There's no access back there.
Ian had the screen. He puts the vent back on, so he knew he was down there.
The officers are right. The vent cover couldn't have been put in place from the inside, so Ian had to have helped him hide. But they'll figure out what to do about that later.
So dumb. I said so dumb.
Most of them are, though.
Yeah, most of them are. And all they do is use you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I just said all they do is use you.
Yep.
So Ian had to have helped him hide. But they'll figure out what to do about that later. For now, they need to figure out a way to get Thomas out of the vents. To start with, locate his exact position. And they came up with a creative solution to do this.
He was right there. How far, approximately?
He's all the way at the far end down there, and another vent there.
Just trying to see if there's a mirror
I got a good phone. I just need duct tape and a mirror.
Probably duct tape in the garage.
You take a phone and flashlight.
I was about to say, can you take a phone?
Sit down in there just so we get some really good light and light them up. And just confirm.
It sounds far-fetched, but after pointing a phone and a torch deep into the vents, they were able to confirm precisely where Thomas was.
See what it looks like. You can see the back of his neck, a jacket.
The problem was, he still wasn't responding, and they certainly didn't want to get in the vents with him. So while another group of officers checked the outside to ensure he couldn't escape, the cops tried desperately to reach out to him. But quickly, they started to get concerned about something else entirely.
That's why I said, because he's been down there for so long and it's such a cramped space, he can either be stuck, like physically stuck, or he can have need medical attention down there himself.
Thomas, if you can hear me, man, answer. I know you're down there. We saw you in the pictures. Answer me. Just let me know you're okay, man. Are you okay down there? Yeah, no move, man. No, that's not got your door here. Like you would think that he'd shuffle a little bit. I haven't heard him.
Well, it looks like he's moved since the
Yeah, but like no noise, nothing. Oh.
Señor López, estoy en Hospital Hotel de la oficina de sheriff. Estoy abajo de arreste. Necesitas levántese ahorita.
Thomas had been down there for hours now, possibly even days. The cops know he's there, but they haven't seen his face or any movement whatsoever. They're fearing the worst, but they still can't risk going down there with him. That's when one of the officers gets a genius idea.
You're going to want to push him back this way because he's going to have to come out this way. Yeah. So if you introduce gas, you want to introduce it on that.
Okay.
If you have a fogger or you have pepper spray, I would introduce it down there. You don't do the same thing with a video? It may make him uncomfortable enough that he'll come out. That's going to make you cough.
So now it looks like he's facing us.
Hey, his head's up here for sure. Because he went in feet first.
Yeah, because you don't want him to cross, so I would introduce it over there too. Push him this way.
Yeah. Just from that side.
They're planning to shoot pepper spray into both ends of the vents, forcing him out. If he was to stay inside, he'd end up choking and writhing in the pain the gas caused. But it turns out, this plan was so smart and terrifying to Thomas that they wouldn't even have to put this into action.
Hey, come on out, man. Dude, come on out. What did I do? Come out and we'll talk. I'm a little scared, sir. No, there's nothing to be scared about. Come on out. I've been beat up by the cops before.
Oh, she's
Man,
so coward,
shut up.
bitch.
I
Man,
done beat, but you beat no women.
That's the biggest coward. Bro.
I can't stand people.
He a punk. That's what he is. Big old punk.
Understand, but nobody's gonna hurt you. I just need you to come out slow. Yep, we'll get you something to eat. Go. We'll get you something.
Can I get Popeye? Because I know I never get it again. Go on right in that damn prison cell, motherfucker.
Fact.
She 175. Got some dirt in there. You want to take the head off and shit off?
The concept of being stuck in the vents with the pepper spray was just too much to Thomas, and with some convincing, they were able to get him out. The ideas and tactics used in this extraction were far from textbook, but they were incredibly smart. Now they just had one more job to do: interrogate Thomas and finally figure out the truth of what happened to Sabrina.
Move all this over here, okay?
You speak English or Spanish?
Both.
Okay. You want
preferably English, though.
Preferably English, and we'll stick with English. So listen to me.
We are in America.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Well, what we are here for is what happened with Sabrina the other night. That's what all this is about.
There is an enormous amount of evidence against Thomas. Remember, everyone involved in the case has pointed the finger towards him, including the murder victim herself. But that doesn't mean he's not going to try and defend himself, notably without the presence of a lawyer. The story he chooses to go with, though, isn't the most convincing.
Okay, we talked to Sabrina. Okay, she told us what happened to her. Okay, I need you to be honest with me and tell me the truth. Okay, were y'all guys fighting that night?
It was just an argument, that's all it was. We weren't fighting. We didn't get physical.
How many times did she hit you?
I don't want her to get in trouble, sir.
Okay, how many times did you hit her?
I didn't hear this, sir. We just bumping each other, like, you know what I mean?
Did you shove her down the steps for her to cut those injuries?
I want to show her. That's my kid's mom, but...
Y'all guys have a kid together?
That's your
I
kid.
don't hurt her.
So tell me what happened in that bar.
So that's not his girlfriend. This is actually his baby mother.
Y'all
but
have a child or children together?
the other chick is his girlfriend. This is his baby mother. And ladies, a lot of times y'all get these dudes, y'all have kids with them. They expect that they gotta say in your life for the rest of your life. It be control. And I'm only speaking, when I speak about stuff like this, I'm speaking straight from experience. I've seen it, actually going through it, and y'all be so stuck, man. Just because you got a kid with a man don't mean the man always got to be a part of your life. He part of the kid's life, not yours. That's on him to step up. You ain't got no controls of what he has to do as a father and as a parent. That's up to him to step up. You ain't gonna make him step up. You helping the kids to try to look at... No. Let him to show that I'm a good man to the kids. Stop making excuses for him. Stop enabling. Stop making him look like the good guy, but he's gonna treat you like hell. That's all control, bro.
Facts.
It's and the reason why I speak like this, because the person I personally know going through, I can't even speak because they don't want to hear it. No matter how much you try to confide in them, no matter how you try to be straight up with them, let them know what it is from a male point of view, they don't want to hear it, bro. They want to go through it and continue to go through it, no matter how many times he put his hands on you, no matter he beat you in front of your kids, dog you out, everything. It's a control mechanism. Because they want to have control, but they want to be able to do them. Bro, you got a whole girl. Leave this woman alone. Well, R.I.P. to Sabrina. But you should have left her alone. Let her be who she... Well, you leave. But also, just because you with another woman don't mean you gotta abuse that woman. But you a bitch.
Facts.
That's what she felt. And Serge went back there and argued because we don't want to be arguing in that house. I don't want to get thrown out because I don't have nowhere to live. But.
Apparently, they went out to the barn because they didn't want to argue in the house, and Sabrina slipped and fell down some steps.
I'm saying that's where he tied her up at and beat her in the barn.
Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't want to argue in the house, and Sabrina slipped and fell down some steps, causing all of her injuries.
You guys are arguing, okay? And it did get physical, but you didn't want to tell me what happened, right? Is that what you're telling me? It got physical, but you didn't want to tell me what happened.
No, so we just kind of we got in each other's face, but
was that the same night you took her to the hospital?
I mean, it was ongoing for like a couple of days.
So you guys were just basically arguing for 2 days?
Pretty much.
What was the pushing and shoving?
I want to say pushing and shoving. We just kind of...
The chest bump and whatever you want. Yeah, when was that?
During that night when she fucking fell.
Okay, so you guys do this chest pumping.
Because we don't want to argue in that house because I don't want to get thrown out of there.
Thomas is also claiming that he didn't hit her or even push her around. The worst they did was get into each other's faces and bumped each other's chests. As I'm sure you're aware, that's not exactly consistent with Sabrina's injuries or what she told the police. But Thomas's story gets even more unbelievable as he continues.
So then you guys go out to the barn. What happens next?
We just sitting there, just smoking a cigarette and stuff. We're up there.
So you guys go up, and are you upstairs in the barn? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in that loft. We start up there, and then she starts coming back down, and she fucking loses her footing as she goes down the damn steps.
So when was the
I picked her up, walked her to the house, and she's like, "Well, if I can't bear it no more, then I need you to take me to the emergency room."
So when was the chest bumping or all of that? Where was that at?
It's kind of in the beginning when we got in there, then that's when...
How'd she fall down the stairs?
She lost her footing, I guess. You look at the stairs and there inside that place, there's a big ass gap between each. It's not constructed pretty good. It's like some shit someone just put together.
Are we talking from the top all the way to the bottom?
It's like halfway. Maybe just sort of the bottom. She lost her footing.
Okay.
All kind of junk and stuff that's in that barn.
Yeah.
So, not only did Thomas not have anything to do with her injuries, but when she got hurt, they'd already made up. He believes that this story has explained away why Ian will have heard shouting in the house, why they went out to the barn, and why Sabrina got such horrific injuries. This is why it's so important that detectives keep as much of the evidence as possible secret. He's constructed a story that technically covers up all the evidence that he thinks exists, and while it's not comprehensive, it would definitely make proving his guilt in a courtroom slightly harder. But it doesn't explain a huge number of other things, like how the injuries were sustained by a golf club or the drugs Sabrina said he injected her with. Both things he doesn't know the cops know about. And in fact, he was never able to explain these other things away. There was simply too much evidence for Thomas to deal with, and he chose to plead guilty at his trial. Nurses from the hospital told the jury that Thomas had initially told them she'd fallen down the stairs too, but Sabrina immediately refuted this claim when she woke up. She said he'd hit her multiple times with his bare fists, struck her multiple times full force with a golf club, and had her tied up to a chair in the barn for a large amount of time while this all happened. Even worse, she said this had been going on for around a month, and for the entire time, she felt as though she had been held captive. Obviously, there wasn't much Thomas could do against this defense, and he was convicted of murder, kidnapping, and resisting an officer. He was sentenced to 18 years behind bars. If you're interested in watching our uncensored, extended 2 to 4...
18 years? What is that?
Oh, he pled guilty.
Oh, it did say he pled guilty for a lighter sentence.
It's just conviction rate, and you get less time.
Man, that's so messed up. Just for him to get out
and do it to
and be doing this to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. He a whole bitch.
Oh. I am glad, at one point that she was able to wake up and say what happened to her, who did it, and give them details. Because it seems like no one in the house know anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody in this house don't know nothing. Y'all don't know what's going on in your own house. That's sad. Y'all need to get some type of structure going on.
Dad don't know because someone just keep bringing
people. You just stand back. I just stay back there in my room. I don't bother. No, you need to know what's going on in your house. Like, I don't know. But rest in peace to Sabrina, because that's sad.
Facts, man. And 18 years is not enough at all.
And then trying to down just a couple days. She been there for a long time. In fact, 18 years is not long enough at all.
So sad.
And condolences to her family and her kids as well. Because
now they don't
lost their
have a mother
you know
or their father.
Just so much, but yeah.
Y'all spam us up in the comments, man. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts and opinions about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are
Kid and C.
We are.
Peace.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me